There are so many kids over here, and one of the questions that I thought of asking you, sir, is the same question that I asked my teacher. When I was young, one of my economics teacher asked me, "Why do you keep wasting your time playing on the football pitch? And you're not on time for
I was just about to ask, why were you wasting your time in the economic class?
So that's exactly what I did. So then I spoke to her, I said, "Ma'am, I want to become a footballer." And that's why I was there, and I apologize that I'm late. Then of course she said me things that I can't say right now. And then she complained to the class teacher that there is one guy who has lost his mind. Make sure you tighten him. So the class teacher came to me and she's like, "What were you doing? What were you thinking?" So I told her, I actually want to be a footballer, and there's only one class which is called PT class for 2 periods in the whole week. There are kids who want to be in an IIT, a doctor, or whatever. They've got 8-10 classes every week to encourage them. But I only had one, that too with white shorts and white t-shirt, PT. There was no football class.
And you're not supposed to dirty those white shorts.
Yeah. That was an instruction from home, but I never listened. I was always dirty. But then I told her, then my chances of becoming are so dim. Because there's no practical what I do on the pitch. Nobody comes and tells me, you know what, this is what you did, and this is what you're going to do. Of course, like my economics teacher, my class teacher said, "Shut up. Think about what other kids are doing." So then I realized that it's not, I'm not going to get helped. And now when I meet kids from different schools, they have the same issue. They have the same issue that sports-wise, we aren't teaching them more. And I think, and I believe, I may be wrong, nothing else can teach you to be a better person than sports. This is what I believe. I may be wrong, like the way I'm talking to myself. But anything that good happened in my life is only because of sports. And I'm not even talking about all the accolades or stuff I've got. It has made me a better person. And then I realized, why couldn't we inculcate that in school? Why couldn't we teach them?
How bad were you before this?
Okay. No, but that's true. And you know, I wasn't thinking of what I'm going to do. And I was one of the kids where the parents are fighting. It's your mistake. No, it's your mistake. It's because of you. No, it's because of you. And then suddenly, because of sports, everything changed. So everything changed. Only football made sure that I left everything and not think about anything else. So whenever there was football, it was all me there, thinking, concentrating, trying to become my better self. Rest, let's not talk about that.
No, the best thing about sport is, I think we have to acknowledge, because it was 2 days ago that it was the 125th anniversary of Vivekananda speaking in Chicago. Well, most people would have not noticed this aspect of him. He said one thing. He said, "You are closer to the divine in kicking a ball than in prayer."
That made me happy.
Because you can pray without involvement. You can go to school without involvement. You can work without involvement. You can even get married without involvement. Yes. But you cannot play a game without involvement. And the essence of life is only in involvement. Without involvement, there is no life. How profound is your involvement will determine how profound is your experience of life. The question is not in what. Well, you found that involvement in sport, but it doesn't matter what. If somebody finds absolute involvement in something, they will know life in a certain way, which others will completely miss. Those people who are goal-oriented, that they want to get there, they want to get here, they want to become something at the age of 3, you ask a little girl, "What do you want to be?" "I want to be doctor." So from the age of 3, she is praying, lot of people should be sick. I'm saying market development is needed, right? So, this goal-orientedness has… this is a very Western way of looking at life. Always the goal. The finish line is more important than the step that you're taking right now. It's a foolish way to live. If you get to the finish line, you will still not be ecstatic. Your only ecstasy is somebody is behind you. It's a sickness that you enjoy other people's failures, it's a sickness. But if you make it, you will not be exuberant. If you don't make it, of course, you'll be broken. The important thing is to be absolutely devoted to the process, what we're doing right now. How far will it get us? Depending upon our competence, it'll get us as far as it gets. How far we go in the world is also determined by the situations in which we exist, the times in which we exist. If you were kicking a ball really well 1,000 years ago, you wouldn't be a national captain or nothing, okay? Because 1,000 years ago, you kicked a ball really wonderfully, wouldn't mean anything. Can you kill a deer, or can you chop down a tree, or can you get this or that would have been the skill wanted. So it is the times. Where we get, how far we get, the times will decide. But the question is only this, everything that you have, is it finding expression or no? That's all it is. Are you better than somebody? That is not even the question. Everything that you are, is it finding expression, or you yourself are a big problem? For most human beings, they don't need any enemies, they're just doing great by themselves. Yes, they are. Every day their own thought, their own emotion, their own ideas, their own stupid philosophies, they're just destroying people. See, every human being has a certain genius in them, every human being. Only thing is, unless they find the right atmosphere and right level of involvement, that genius will not flower. And the sad story on this planet is, 99% of the population never opens up their genius. They will live mediocre lives simply because they are interested in the goal, what will they get in the end? They want to know what will they get in the end, they're not interested in what's happening now. What will you get in the end? We will bury you.
So I think to all the parents who couldn't open their own geniuses, make sure a kid has the chance. Because a 3-year-old kid cannot say, I want to be a doctor unless you tell the kid. That's a great message. Doctor? So this is so common nowadays. I know it's so simple when you say it, but even when the parents meet, after like one session and I go and see them and I play with them, sir, kya mera beta football player banega? So I have no answer,
Kya
sir.
Ronaldo banega? Ronaldo. Not Sunil Chhetri. Right away.
So and I've got no answer, sir. Because one beautiful thing that my parents did for me was they never asked me, what are you going to be? So whenever in my head I wanted to be the next Leander Pace, they let me be.
You tell them at 15 yards, if your child can kick the ball into your face, he will make it.
No, but to all the parents, that is very, very true. I hope there was a formula where I can give you and your kid can be someone, he or she, but there is no formula. Let them be and they'll find the way. As Guruji just told us, they'll find a way.
If your children's lives matter to you, if they really matter to you, if their happiness matters to you, if their life matters to you, do not look at your children as some way of fulfilling all your failed ambitions about yourself. Child is a fresh life. It doesn't come from you, it only comes through you. You don't own it, it's in your custody. It's a privilege that this bundle of joy has come to you. It's for you to learn, it's not for you to impose your stuff. Because if the next generation becomes just like you, what is the point of having a next generation? They have to be something different, they have to do something else, otherwise what's the point?
Very true. Kids, take the YouTube video of this. Whenever parents are forcing you, make sure… Here. Whenever your parents are saying, sorry parents, be a doctor, be this, be that, be a Ronaldo, be a Messi, this. I want to be myself and I'll make my own way. That's a great one. Pakka? Make the video.
Aspiring to be a Messi, you know, if just one alphabet goes, you're a mess.
That's a really good one, sir, because all of us will agree that we want our next generation to be better. Not better in the sense that they're competing, but just better. Things that.
No,
But sir, tell me one thing: why parents and that age group people say you things, and it's so true, the things that they couldn't do. Like whenever you do want to do something, नहीं नहीं आपसे ये नहीं होगा. Or whenever you want to try something, नहीं नहीं ये मत करो. या ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. Stuff like that.
See, parenting has become a very fear-based thing. Their idea of love is to be anxious all the time. Anxiety is being misunderstood as love affair. And most people, their love affairs, whatever kind, with their children, with their parents, with their lovers or whatever, for most of them, love is beautiful only in the initial phase. After that, it's only anxiety. They're just anxious, what will happen, what will happen, what will happen. So, when you have children, of course there is concern because it's a fresh life, it needs protection, it needs an atmosphere to grow. Your business is just to… you're the soil for this new plant. You're not the sunlight, you're just the soil. Provide a rich soil, an atmosphere of love, joy, enthusiasm, you know. Children, if you're really concerned about your children's lives, this is all you have to do in your home. That your children should never see moments of anger, resentment, frustration, depression, all these things. Your children should grow up in an atmosphere of love, joy and exuberance of life. If you're really concerned about them, this is all you have to do. So what you need to do is not work upon them, but work upon yourself to see that you create that atmosphere. Because I want a coconut tree to grow, but I place it on my head, it's not going to grow. I have to find it good soil, only then it'll grow, isn't it? So your business is just to create the soil. There is an atmosphere outside, you cannot prevent it. There are other people outside who'll influence them. A child is not 100% under your influence, it never was, but much more so now because they're exposed to various other things, there are technological ways of accessing the world. They may not even be listening to you, there is somebody else talking to them from somewhere else, all right? But if you provide them the soil of a very loving, joyful and exuberant atmosphere, you will see you will be the biggest influence on them. Otherwise, somebody else will take over.
That is so nice. And with your permission, taking clue from that, I could go back and speak to my parents about everything. Good, bad, whatever. My dreams, whatever I wanted to be, how stupid it may sound, because kids are stupid when they are young. They say whatever they want to say. But I had the liberty of going to my parents and speaking whatever is there in my head. If your kid cannot come and talk to you, actually we have already lost the battle. If your kid cannot come and talk to you about what he or she wants, it's gone. So that was a great thing. Make sure that we listen to this, and again the video, it works. Whenever you are down and you're angry and whatever, the video. The kids know it, they'll show you, for sure. And the message to kids now, sir.
Huh?
Message to kids before they get, you know what? So Guruji has said, now you can't shout at us, you can't discipline us, you can't say this, you can't say that.
The children must understand this because there are various levels of children here. The very young ones, leave them, there is no need to tell them anything. But others, they need to understand this. You don't have to become what your parents want you to become. I personally don't care a damn what you become. But whatever the hell you become, you better be good at it. That's all that matters. And being good at something will not come because you desire. There is a striving, there is an involvement, there is a certain devotion to what you're doing. People misunderstand… I'm specifically using the word devotion because people think devotion means going to the temple, church or mosque or something like this. No, just look at life and see. Whatever the arena of life, sport, art, music, business, whatever, has anybody gone to any significant levels without devotion? No. So devotion means unconditional involvement, not comfort and discomfort. When it's comfortable, I will do it, when it's not comfortable, I'll not do it. Well, we're sitting with a sports person, if you want to use that example, it is not comfortable to be a sports person. Every damn muscle hurts. Yes, everything hurts. It is all nice for you to see in the television, they're just falling up and, flipping up and falling down. Do once like that, you won't get up for a month. Yes, most people don't know. And India being a cricketing nation, largely most people have only seen cricket matches, very few people have, unfortunately, have seen football, hockey and other matches, which should come back. I think it is to some extent making a thing. It was very wonderful you made that appeal. We all responded for you. See, among the many games, for example, because India, a lot of people are playing cricket, many of them on the street side playing with a tennis ball, they won't understand what it is. When you play with a cricket ball, it's one of the most dangerous games you can play. It's a hard ball and it is coming at like over 120, 130 kilometers per hour at you. And the biggest problem is it pitches and changes direction as it wants. It has a mind of its own. Most of the time, even the bowler does not know where it'll go. Not just the batsman. Yes, the pitch and the wind and so many things decide how it goes. So, people are watching on the television and advising how Tendulkar doesn't know. You know. It's not that. When you're there out there, it's a dangerous thing. Sport is a dangerous thing in many ways. It could break your body, just like that. And above all, even if you don't break, every day it's painful. It's painful and painful and painful. No matter what the hell is happening in your life, morning 5 o'clock you get up and run and do this and do that and all kinds of things. Most people cannot keep such discipline in their life. So, the important thing is, there is a certain devotion to what you're doing. Otherwise, you will not go through that pain. First bit of pain, you will turn back and sleep. And like we trek in the mountains, every year I think, just now I came back for 3 weeks of being in Himalayas, both in Nepal and Tibet. We are going up to 17,500 to 18,000 feet. Every year I think enough I've done. From the age of 19, almost every year I've trekked in the mountains. And I think it's enough. These sore muscles and bad bathrooms and everything, I say enough of it. But within 2 months, mountains are again calling you. And at this stage in my life, it could be very painful. Painful means because we are pushing at a certain speed, it can be painful, but there is an acceleration, there is a certain joy, there is a certain indescribable experience of life which others will never know. So, it is not necessarily you have to climb a mountain or play football. You will know this if you know that level of involvement in something where it brings you to a sense of abandon, where it's almost like you're hanging between life and death at certain moments. Those moments are an experience beyond anything. There are no there's no vocabulary for that. When you touch that place, you know you can cross anything. I'm sure any number of times in the games it happens.
That's actually so true. So whenever you guys find that thing, make sure you give it your best. That's all is required. So we spoke to the kids about the importance, the parents and the combination. Just for a healthy, happy life, few tips, sir. I'll put you in a spot now. Because that's all they want to know, trust me.
See, if you want a healthy, happy life, it's a lot of thing to ask for. You think you're going to settle it with 2 tips? It needs a little more involvement, that's what I'm trying to say. If you think your life is worthwhile, if you think you are a worthwhile life, are you? Yes. If you are a worthwhile life…
Come on guys, say yes at least.
They're having a little… Are you a worthwhile life? If you are a worthwhile life, it doesn't matter what somebody thinks, for you, this is the most precious life, isn't it? This is not just for you. You just try to catch an ant. An ant doesn't think, oh, I'm just an ant, let him catch me. You think so? He does everything possible because he thinks he is a worthwhile life. Yes or no? He is the most precious life on the planet as far as he's concerned. That is same… that is true with every life, isn't it? That's true with you. But because we have a certain level of cerebral activity, we've gotten all mixed up. This is essentially an evolutionary issue. That is, this kind of brain is new. In terms of evolutionary scale of things, in these millions of years of existence, this kind of brain is new to us. And most people don't have a stable enough base to handle this kind of intelligence. That's what is driving them crazy. They don't know how to handle their own cerebral capability. What is the greatest gift has turned against people simply because of this. Otherwise, being happy, is it even an issue? When you were a child, you were naturally happy, isn't it? What happened? Brains became bigger and you didn't learn how to handle it. See, once you come as a human being, you are not as strong as an elephant, you can't run as fast as a cheetah or a tiger, you can't even do tricks like a monkey. In every department you are weaker than other animals. Only thing is you got an intelligence. But right now, that's the only thing human beings are suffering. Only because human beings are suffering their own intellect and their intelligence, that even stupid spiritual teachings are going on. To be peaceful, to find peace of mind is the ultimate goal of your life. Such people will only rest in peace. To be peaceful is a challenge. Essentially, your intelligence has turned against you, that's all, isn't it? Otherwise, what is the big deal about being peaceful? If you don't do anything, you're peaceful. No, all the time this is happening. This is an evolutionary issue, isn't it? So you must understand this, that for this intelligence, you do not have a stable enough base. If you do not work towards a stable enough base, your intelligence can create so much mess for you, it's unbelievable. You can call it stress, you can call it anxiety, you can call it madness, you can call it whatever you want. Essentially, your intelligence is working against you. Once your intelligence is working against you, no power in the universe can save you. Yes or no? Suppose your right hand starts punching you in the face. Only way is to tie it down. If it doesn't work, we'll have to amputate. Yes or no?
Yes.
Somebody else is punching you, there are many ways to handle it. My own handing is punching me, how to handle this? Right now, tell me, do you need any help from outside? Or you can cause lot of misery to yourself? You don't need any outside help, isn't it? So that's all you need to fix. You don't have to aspire for peace or happiness or meditation or bliss, nothing. Your body and your mind should take instructions from you and nobody else but you.
You get the point. So advices are open from other sides, but eventually you think about for yourself.
It's not about you think for yourself. I'm saying it's intrinsic and essentially this mechanism is built this way that this body should work for you.
True.
Yes? If it is working for the opposite team, you know, in this World Cup there were 4 or 5 self-goals. Or if your mind is working against you or for somebody else, this is ultimate slavery, isn't it? Somebody can decide. See, if we decide, young people are here, if I tell them, you must read only these books, you should not read these books, they'll say, what, we don't have the freedom? Are we slaves to you? But now, somebody can decide what happens within you. Is this not the worst form of slavery? Somebody can decide whether you can be happy or unhappy. Is this not the worst form of slavery? But you're accepting it as romance. Oh, I cannot live without you.
Tomorrow's headlines, 1,000 people were in Central Mall. Out of that, 500 broke up the next morning. Don't do this.
No. See, I cannot live without you, or I cannot walk without a crutch. Is there any difference?
I know we all are laughing right now, but this is serious. Please understand this. No, this is serious. This is really, very, very serious. I've got few friends who are like that, and they're miserable. No, on a serious note, this is… Please understand this.
People think if they are helplessly in need of somebody, they are in love. No. Love is a conscious process that you decide to turn your emotions into a certain level of sweetness. If you can do it with everybody, it's fantastic. Not possible, at least with one or two people. But right now, most people are not capable of doing that unless they're biologically involved one way or the other. They must be parents or children or husband and wife or partners or something, but biology. Essentially what this means is, your intelligence is on the back burner, your biology is the front end of your life. As we already looked at it, if you compare yourself to any other creature, biologically you are a much weaker creature than most creatures on the planet. Yes or no?
Yes.
So if you use biology as your front end, your life will be obviously a mess. You will see grasshoppers are living better than you. They are.
Got the point? Yeah. Sure. I see a big smile on this gentleman's face. No, but again, sir, I have to… There's so simple words, and suddenly start thinking, like me, I see so many faces, they're thinking, "Ha yaar, ye to seekh tha." It makes sense.
No, that is the whole problem, they are all thinking. That is the main problem. I have no thought in my head. I'm simply looking. I'm just looking at life. I am not thinking of life. What can you think about life? It's there for you to see and experience. It's not for you to think and write a PhD paper on it. Is there somebody who is doctor life?
I have to be honest, sir, but this is difficult.
Why?
This is like, the way you say, I look at life, and it's difficult for
Now tell me, do you know… Okay, when you're playing football, do you see the goal and ball and goal, or do you just think about the ball and goal?
So that's the only time when I don't think. I just play.
So that's the best time of your life?
Yes, by far.
So I'm saying, why isn't it not like that every moment of your life? I made my life like a football game every moment of my life.
No, actually that is very true, because the guy who helped me in meditation, he asked me, when is your mind… Not help me. So he asked me, when is your mind not thinking about anything and calm? So I was thinking, there is no time you're thinking about this, that, whatever. But then I realized, before a game and during a game, I'm thinking nothing, I'm just reacting to what is happening. That's the only time when I'm thinking of nothing.
See, you can be doing many things and thinking and doing many things. You are a mess with general life, but it doesn't show up. In the sport, if you're thinking, it'll show up immediately. Everybody will boo. So you will get it that you're thinking about the ball, you're not seeing the ball. That's a dangerous thing to do.
So I can't play for 24 hours, but make sure you inculcate sports in your life, so at least for that moment of time, you're not thinking, I'm just reacting.
No, 24 hours should become a game. Intense involvement, just like when you're in a so-called important match. This is an important match. Hello? Is this not an important match today? No, I'm not talking about the India-Pakistan stuff. Right now, for all of us, is this not an important match? every moment of your life. Is your life an important match? And in this match, you're playing all by yourself. Others may play with you, but you're not really playing against somebody. You're not really playing against somebody. This is more like golf. So, I must tell you this because you're a sports person. I never took a lesson, ever. I have never been to a driving range. I don't take a single practice swing. My golf buddies are here, ask them what's my score.
So just by keep playing, you…
No,
you-
I just hit the ball. People are trying to beat somebody, I just hit the ball. And my handicap is below 10 now. I've never been to a driving range, most people won't believe, but I've never practiced on a driving range. I never once take a practice swing on the course. Never taken a lesson.
That requires a little bit of talent also. So don't get fooled that, I just go and hit. That requires talent also.
No. See, it needs some physical balance, of course, which a whole lot of people have. It's not that they don't have, they just don't have mental balance. So I described this, I was featured in the Golf Digest in United States. So this guy came and said, he's a good player, he's a scratch player. I said, Sadhguru, how do you do this? I said, see, 70% of golf in my perception is just mental. I'm just playing 70%. Remaining 30% golf, I don't know a damn thing about it, I don't play that. I just play the mind game.
So, but that's so true for any sports.
Any sport, but more true where there is no competition. Competition means nobody is trying to grab your ball at least.
That was lovely, sir. Of course, one more video for me. Guys, just take all the cue. Make sure you don't forget it. If you do forget it, grab the YouTube video and just stay happy. Just stay happy, guys.
So, I feel it's very important that football should go to rural India. We have been kind of pushing the government for this. As a part of this, now they announced one thing, the central government, it'll take still a long time to implement, but they announced this already a month ago, saying that only 50% of the time that a child spends in the school will be dedicated for academics. The remaining 50% will be for sport, music, art. So, beyond your time as a player, we would like to see that you make a difference in rural India, because that's where the people are.
I would love to, sir.
City boys are too fat, they can't run, they can't do anything.
Don't take it in the wrong way, but that's true with my sports at least. Sir Alex Ferguson was asked this question, sir, that if you have… what is the best thing about football? So he answered that if you have two kids at their birth with the same talent, everything same, you give one to the rich family and one to the poor family and give them everything same, the nutrition, the food, the training. The odds are the one who is from the poor family will make it big in football.
That's
So I truly believe.
That's
So I'm
so
in.
with most things, unfortunately. Because unfortunately, this has become the reality of the world because human beings are living so compulsively. See, the idea of wealth, the idea of affluence is so that obstacles of survival are removed. That daily I don't have to fight for my bread means if I want to play football, I can play football all out. But unfortunately, most human beings don't make use of their affluence like this. As societies become affluent, as nations become affluent, you will see that we just producing a whole lot of people who good for nothing. People do not use their affluence, their comfort levels for excelling in something. They will use it against themselves. So, Bangalore city, I want you to understand, though you have a messy traffic, you're living better than most people who live in rural India. You must appreciate that. And see that you don't have to fight for daily bread. When such a relief is there, you must use this life and this energy for doing something significant. I don't care what you do, but you must do something well. It's important. In this life, You must do something that you can really do it well. Whether you can kick a ball, or you can meditate, or you can act, or you can sing, or you can be a doctor, it doesn't matter what, but you must do something really well. If you don't do that, the problem with life is, even if you don't do anything, it just passes by. It doesn't stop. And the problem with life is, or the beauty of life is, even if you live a life of a bum, you still pass. They don't detain you for bad life. Thank you.
That is so wonderful. Thank you so much, guys.
It's I must say this, that when the entire country is, basically sport starved, don't think people who are watching a cricket game know something about sport. They know only the runs on the scoreboard, they don't know much about the game, even the cricket game, I'm saying. Largely, most people know only what's the end score, who won, is there some spectacular action or no, this is all they're looking at. That is why from a test match we have come to 2020 because spectacular action. But at a time like this, when India is not so much of a sporting country, and particularly football is being laughed at, Sunil has taken football to a different level, has brought… Well, in this country, when there is no culture of football, he's taken it to a different level, not only in the field, not only on the football field, but he did a fantastic thing in touching the conscience of Indian citizens that you being stupid, not supporting the Indian football team when the matches are happening in your city, you don't even know it's happening. And that was a fantastic thing, and I think after your, goal-scoring days are over, because I'm going to put you back 5 years, so you may be there for a long time. But after that, we want you to dedicate your time and energies to bring football to rural India, because that is where the youth are strong and that's where the people are, 65% of the population is there. If you ever want to create a football academy in the south, we may facilitate it for you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for the kind words, and the urban kids, do not lose heart, even you can become big players.
Thank you very much.